players that we would like to see win a Super Bowl in the National Football League. We are dispensing with the trivia. I'm taking the first question. There's a damn thing you can do about it, Simms. And this one is easy for me. This one is obvious. We almost saw him win one 12 years ago. It was the first Super Bowl I ever personally attended. It looked like the Cardinals were going to pull off the victory after Larry Fitzgerald was shot out of a cannon. I want to see Larry Fitzgerald get his fingerprints on a Lombardi trophy before he retires, and hopefully the Cardinals are moving in the direction of making that happen.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that was going to be one of my two picks. There's no doubt about it. So makes a lot of sense, and I would love to see that as well. You know, you want to see the spirit of this draft is guys that you know have put their heart and soul and done everything they've done right or done everything right to put themselves in a place to try to win a championship. And Larry Fitzgerald, I mean, come on, who you know, it says that more than him. All right, well, I'm going Phillip Rivers. You know, same thing here. You know, damn, I'd love to see Phillip Rivers win a Super Bowl. Certainly. I mean, he's one of the toughest players, toughest quarterbacks in the history of the sport. Competitor, backs down from no one, you know, never makes excuses. I just think there's a lot to really respect about Phillip Rivers. I would love to see it. You know, it's one of those things this year where, you know, between, hey, it's easy to root for Frank Reich, it's easy to root for Chris Ballard, and now you got Phillip Rivers. I feel like I'm in, like, you know, this one's for John. I feel like this is like one of those years where I'm going to become a Colts fan a little bit because I like Phillip Rivers and like to see him maybe get that final championship to cap off his career.
If he just gets to a Super Bowl and doesn't win it, is that enough to get him into Canton?
Maybe in this era of inflated numbers, I think there might be a chance because, you know, I know we were talking about before the break, he's about to pass Dan Marino for all-time passing yards, you know, and it's a different era altogether. But I think if he just got to the Super Bowl, I'm going to say probably no. I think he probably needs a win at this point to solidify the Hall of Fame. I think it's going to be very debatable if he just gets there.
Next one for me, a guy not around in the NFL as long as Phillip Rivers or Larry Fitzgerald, but a guy who was in a Super Bowl, whose team was favored to win the Super Bowl, unable to pull it off, and now joining a team that knows a thing or two about winning Super Bowls.
I can't believe you're picking them.
Newton.
I can't believe you're picking him.
Cam Newton.
I know you are.
Why?
I'm mad because I wanted to pick him. That's why.
You picked him. You could have picked him instead of Phillip Rivers.
Damn.
Cam Newton. And we have a story about him showing up at the airport last night. Now, look, the social media post from Cam Newton since he was signed by the Patriots, not exactly the Patriot way. Cam Newton showing up at the airport last night, definitely the Patriot way. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I got nothing to say. That's the Patriot way.
Oh, yeah.
And Cam Newton just kept on walking.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know, that'll go over big with that team up there, and especially Bill. Bill will like that he set the tone like that right there. And, yeah, I mean, like we heard Rodney Harrison talking yesterday, we got a man on a mission right now as far as, you know, playing quarterback and Cam Newton and all that. All right. Ooh, I'm a little torn here.
Sorry, I blew up your draft by taking Cam Newton.
You totally killed me there.
I'm 4 for 4 this week. You're gonna have to come back tomorrow.
Your draft yesterday was so horrible. I don't even know what to talk about.
It was awesome.
I'm going with J.J. Watt. All right, I'm gonna go with J.J. Yeah, I mean, come on, the guy's, you know, one of the best defensive players of our generation. Been another guy that's been stand up off the field, been really good with a lot of causes, and you know, he's a dominant force. You know, had some tough injuries, but you know, J.J. Watt, you know, hands down, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest defensive players in the history of the sport. He's already solidified those type of things to be said with his name. So I would love to see him and Deshaun Watson and Billy O'Brien hoist a trophy at some point. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, J.J. Watt, 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, first ballot Hall of Famer, and just a team that has never been able to put it all together. I agree with you. That's not a bad choice. Next one for me, and I got a lot of other names on the list. Hopefully we'll be able to rattle some of them off. I'm going to go I'm torn here. I'm torn. But one of my picks has played in one. The next guy hasn't played in one. I got to go Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson.
I forgot about him.
Around since 2007. And almost got there in 2009, and he was one of the reasons why the Vikings lost that game. They outplayed the Saints that day, but he fumbled a couple of times in bad spots, killed scoring drives. But, you know, he just keeps going. He may not be on the ideal team to get to a Super Bowl this year, especially since Washington comes in at number 32 on our preseason power rankings. But I'd love to see him get to a Super Bowl and win one, Chris.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, hey, it's you've heard me say it. I think he's the greatest. When he was in his prime, when we're talking first 7-8 years of his career, I never saw a running back better in my life, since I've been alive. I know that's a bold statement, but I mean, I've told the stories, and you've heard me say it. I mean, when I was on the field with him for the first time in a real game, and I was on the sidelines holding the clipboard for the Tennessee Titans, I mean, hey, there's pros and then there's pros. And it was like, whoa, like we're pros out here, but this guy is like on another level. I mean, he arguably the best player I've ever seen in my life. That's how impressive Adrian Peterson was in person. So I hear you there. That's a good one. All right, I'm going to go with a guy that got on Baltimore Ravens this year, Calais Campbell. I think he's got a legitimate chance. Calais Campbell, I mean, it's, again, I think a Hall of Famer, hands down, without a doubt. And, just always quiet, always goes about his business, never heard him complain in Arizona, was great in Jacksonville. We heard so many times. He was always like, saying something wise for the team to latch on to or trying to help things out in the locker room, and just a pure physical force, and a guy that I know is a good guy just from my quick interactions with him, but I've heard people talk about him. So I look at a guy like him and root for him because of the person and the player he is. Those are always the people I root for, and I think this is what, this draft kind of, embolizes altogether.
Embolizes?
Embolizes.
We have a new Simmsism. What the hell is embolizes? Thank you.
Even know.
Well, we're going to have to save it until Monday.
See you Monday.
You're not on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Embolizes. Embolizes.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know
what I was... You don't want to get yourself an embolism.
What the hell was I trying to say
embolizes
there? I don't even know.
Real quickly, I got some more names. Frank Gore.
I thought about Frank
for the
too.
49ers
right.
in Super Bowl 47. You hate Frank Gore, though,
Shut
so
up.
I can understand why you wouldn't pick him. Mark Ingram, when you went Ravens, I thought you were going Mark Ingram. He was not part of the Saints that won Super Bowl 44.
Yep.
He didn't arrive until 2011. Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, a couple of quarterbacks, long-suffering, no Super Bowl wins for them.
Julio Jones
and even
in there.
Julio Jones. Andrew Luck, what the hell? See him come back and win a Super Bowl. That would be great. And Tom Brady. I was going to almost make Tom Brady a pick because I know he has 6. But, man, don't you want to see him win one in a different uniform?
No, I don't really. No, I don't care. All right, so I don't. But I hear – I mean, it is exciting. Who was the one guy I left off my list that I wanted to give a shot? Oh, I did think about Carson Wentz. I'm not going to lie. I know he has a ring, but you know what I mean. Because
he has a Phil Simms ring.
Well, yeah, I get sick of that talk all the time. I mean, I just do, So there's a part of me that would just like to see him win it so people would, like, kind of, stop that conversation point all the time. I don't think it's fair.
And I say that tongue-in-cheek. Phil Simms was a key part of the 1990 Giants. He helped set the table for what was able to come afterward when Jeff Hostetler, powered by an incredible defense and a game plan for the ages, was able to take down the Bills in Super Bowl 25.
Way to rebound. Phil won't beat you up now.
I love Phil. I love Phil. Other than the fact that you're his child, I have no complaints about Phil whatsoever.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.